Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for this video. Today I'm going to be talking about Instagram and by extension their parent company Meta. Now we know how much these companies love to go on about their programs of censorship when it comes to stopping mis and disinformation. Now they don't call it censorship, but they work very hard to stop people from sharing particular information, especially in the last 3 years in coordination with government and big pharma, right? We know this. It's affected many of us. But thanks to this investigation by the Wall Street Journal and some research done by universities in America, namely Stanford, it can be revealed today, this morning, that Instagram itself, its algorithm, and when I say Instagram, I'm also implicating Meta, its algorithm actually promotes pedophilia and helps this content that grooms children, that encourages sex trafficking, and actually allows sex trafficking to flourish on its network. Its very own algorithm has been exposed by the Wall Street Journal and these researchers at the university. So it's a bit of a complex topic. So I'm going to read bits of this article, and I'll also link to a archive link of this article so you can read it for yourself. It's only being covered right now by a few outlets, and hopefully many more outlets, especially in Australia, in our mainstream media, pick up on this issue because it's very important. It shows you how these pedophile networks are actually using Instagram, their very tools, their very search terms, and how they are manipulating also and being assisted at times by an algorithm which is not being, strengthened to actually defeat this kind of thing, right? So without further ado, let's jump into the article. So this is from the Wall Street Journal this morning, Australia time. Instagram connects vast pedophile network. The meta unit system for fostering communities have guided users to child sex content, company says. It is improving internal control. So these questions have actually been put to Instagram and they've responded to this as well. Instagram, the popular social media site owned by Meta Platforms, helps connect and promote a vast network of accounts openly devoted to the commission and purchase of underage sex content, according to investigations by the Wall Street Journal and researchers at the Stanford University and the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Pedophiles have long used the internet, but unlike the forums and file transfer services that cater to people who have interest in illicit content, Instagram doesn't merely host those activities, its algorithms promote them. I mean, what an indictment on Meta and Instagram that their very algorithms are promoting child sex pedophilia content and potentially child sex trafficking. These companies have a vast amount of resources and many different ways to actually monitor for content. We know this. They've been very open about this. I'm going to be hammering on about their censorship programs, or what they call stopping missing and mis and disinformation. They have the tools and the capabilities to actually do a lot of this work. But for some reason, it feels like, in my opinion, that they haven't done this work. Though out of sight for most on the platform, the sexualized accounts on Instagram are brazen about their interest. The researchers found that Instagram enabled people to search explicit hashtags such as pedo whore and preteen sex and connected them to accounts that use the terms to advertise child sex material for sale. Such accounts often claim to be run by the children themselves and use overtly sexual handles incorporating words such as little for you. Instagram accounts offering to sell illicit sex material generally don't publish it openly, instead, posting menus of content. I mean, this stuff sounds sick. Certain accounts invite buyers to commission specific acts. Some menus include prices for videos of children harming themselves and imagery of the minor performing sexual acts with animals. What the hell is happening on Instagram and Meta's platforms? This is disgusting. Research at the Stanford Internet Observatory found at the right price, children are available for in-person meetups. Literally, Instagram and Facebook, by extension Meta, have a grooming pedophile network running on their publicly available network that's used for teens and kids who they promote to these platforms. And it's just happening out there. And if it wasn't for these researchers and the Wall Street Journal running this kind of type of article, if anyone else talked about this, because a lot of people have been bringing these issues up, you'd be called some sort of conspiracy theorist because you want to protect children, right? But this is actually happening on these platforms. I'm going to keep reading. Crazy stuff. In response to questions from the journal, Meta acknowledged problems within its enforcement operations and said it has set up an internal task force to address the issue. Child exploitation is horrific crime, the company said, adding, "We're continuously investigating ways to actively defend against this behavior." Meta said in the past 2 years it has taken down 27 pedophile networks and is planning more removals. Since receiving the journal's queries, the platform said it has blocked thousands of hashtags that sexualize children, some with millions of posts, and restricted its system from recommending user search terms known to be associated with sex abuse. It said it is also working on preventing its systems from recommending that potentially pedophilic adult content with one another or interact with one another's content. I mean, they didn't take action until they got this research and this journalist probing based on this research and putting these questions to them. Then, based on that, Meta's gone ahead and blocked these terms. Okay, so it's been obvious. Maybe they knew about it, but they've set up an internal review now, and they are using the research and the questions put by these journalists to take actions. What kind of sick company are these people operating? I actually found another part in this which was quite interesting. In many cases, Instagram has permitted users to search for terms that its own algorithms know may be associated with illegal material. In such cases, a pop up screen for users warned that these results may contain images of child sex abuse. What? And noted that the production and consumption of such material causes extreme harm to children. The screen offered two options for users: get resources and see results anyway. See results anyway. Mark Zuckerberg, you are one sick individual. This is actually sick because now we're seeing that Instagram itself, its algorithms had picked up this content saying that this is potentially child sexual abuse style material. But do you want to see it anyway? In response to questions from the journal, Instagram removed the option for users to view search results for terms likely to produce illegal images. The company declined to say why it offered the option. I'm laughing, but this is actually quite disturbing. This is actually quite sick. The pedophilic accounts on Instagram mix brazenness with superficial efforts to veil their activity, researchers found. Certain emojis function as a kind of code, such as an image of a map, shorthand for minor attracted person, or one of cheese pizza, which shares its initials with child pornography. According to Levine of UMass, many declare themselves lovers of the little things in life. Accounts identify them as sellers or seller. I mean, I'm not going to keep reading this. I'm going to link to this article so you can see it in the archive. This is actually being picked up now on by Elon Musk. Even shared this article, and it's being shared widely. This is, I guess, an exclusive for the Wall Street Journal itself. But today, most likely, many other outlets will pick up the story because this is actually a very big story. And I'm hoping that our mainstream media in Australia also actually picks up this story and alerts parents to what's happening. Now, these researchers and the journal also put these type of questions to TikTok, Snapchat, and these platforms have been accused of being involved in the same types of activities, although we haven't seen this depth of actual academic research into it. So, major development here in terms of what these platforms are actually allowing, what they knew about what they were doing, and the fact that they weren't taking action on it till this moment. This is not some basement conspiracy theory, as a lot of people have tried to portray for a long time. This is actually a very real, sick issue that is happening in our society. And finally, we might be getting some action on it. Anyway, guys, if you're enjoying my videos, you can follow me along at YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Odyssey, and Rumble at The Real Rukshan. See you next time.